after I did Dar, I got very close to Adi and Karan. More to Adi. Karan wasn't there so often, but I met him on and off. But Adi I became very friendly with. And because, you know, my age, Uday and Adi, we became real good friends. And he said, I'll make a film. So he wanted to make a tough, Ozar, high-speed running, fighting action film. I was shooting in Nadiadwala Bungalow for, I don't know which film, maybe Anjam. And Adi came down and he said, I want to narrate Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. And Karan came with him. And they both narrated to me. Before that, they came to Mehboob to try and narrate the story to me. I was running after a journalist, trying to hit him with a stone. I used to have a lot of fights with journalists then. I was even put in jail for a day for that. Then I was trying to run after this one journalist who had come on the set who I didn't like. Salman had a fight with a photographer. Kajal was very angry because she was made to wait, so she was screaming at the assistant director. And Karan and Adi were looking there and they just looked at us and they said, you know, hum chale jate hain. Today is not the good day. And they ran away. They narrated the story to me in Nadiadwala Bungalow, and I sat down to listen to an action film called Ozar. And Adi narrated Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge to me. So I was like, what, huh? So I wasn't even knowing what the film was. Apparently he went back and told his dad that Shah Rukh hated it, I think. I liked the story a lot, but I was wanting to hear Ozar. I wanted to make an action film with Adi. Then he went and told him, and I think it was even said, look, I think Shah Rukh doesn't do it, we'll do it with Saif. Because they thought I didn't like it. So Yashji called me, he said, do you like the story? I said, loved it. I'll do it, it's very sweet. You know, I'd like to work with Adi. And so we did the film. But about 2 months ago, Adi sent me an email, SMS, that I still owe you that action film. Because after that he made Dil To Pagal Hai with Yashji and every romantic film he's made. And even Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi. So he said me, you know, Shah, don't worry. I was out of work and depressed. I was injured. So I'm like, yeah, I'm really depressed, yeah. So he said, no, now I'm going to make the action film I owe you, since Dilwale. So he owes me an action film. Karan had started assisting Adi, and that's when I met him. I'd met him with his dad for Duplicate, but really got to know him because he would do my costume and everything. And then he started telling me, you know, he used to say some funny lines, which I used to imbibe in the character of Raj. So a lot of inputs from Karan for that, yeah. But Adi is a very serious guy, you know, so you have to crack a joke and make him really laugh. And then also he's like, funny? So, funny hai na yaar. So we were buddies actually. So, you know, Dilwale has that essence that, you know, friends made it kind of thing. You know, 2 films in my career I've made under the worst time of my life. One is Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. My sister was very unwell. So we just gone to Switzerland. I was completely preoccupied with her health. But I found it very funny. I was, you know, innovating, doing new things. With Adi, our friends, you know, Kajal, Karan, Adi, myself, Yashji, my wife's friends. So we were just having a great time. Sarojji, then Farah joined in later. But I never thought it's going to be such a big hit. I was doing 3 Murthy at that time, which was the big film. So, you know, one always felt that is the big one, you know, with Jackie Shroff and Sanjay Dutt and me and Anil Kapoor, whatever. Subhash Ghai producing and Mukul directing it. So Dilwale was a small, sweet film that we were doing. And, you know, after seeing it also, he showed it to me on my wife's birthday. Also, the first day we bought this house, Mannat. That was the special day. Like he said, I'll show it on Gauri's birthday. And we had a party in this house because that's the time I'd bought the house for my wife. And we saw it and it was sweet, yeah. But we didn't know it's so wonderful. You never know how beautiful a film is. Most beautiful films, you don't know how beautiful they are till the audience sees it. And yeah, and suddenly it just became such a big hit. I remember Ratan Jain told me, badi hit hogi. Salman told me, bahut hit hogi yaar ye picture. I didn't understand. Because one didn't know there is a level of hitness which can be like Dilwale. I mean, you know, I didn't know. I mean, I'd done hit films. But one didn't know that you can surpass. Like, see, I today feel I can't pass Dilwale maybe, or Rab Ne or whatever. And then you do. And, you know, now we also used to it, ki chalo hit ban sakti hai badi. But that time one didn't know, so it was quite shocking and sweetly shocking. You know, what happened during Dilwale in Switzerland one night, because Karan used to write a bit and stuff, and he sort of said that, I've got a film. I said, if you ever do a film, I'll do it with you. And he thought it was a joke, I think. And Kajal was his friend, and they're childhood friends. But he just thought I was joking. And then I did Duplicate, and I met Karan again with his dad. While I was shooting Duplicate, I think he sent Karan to Jaipur, where I was shooting Chahat. And he narrated some crap to me, and sitting on the steps in the hotel. And he just looked at me and said, "You'll do it?" I said, "Of course I'll do it." So he went back home shocked that I've said yes to it. And I sort of felt, when we were doing Dilwale, he had so many lines and scenes that he would just talk about. And the simplicity and the sense of humor Karan has. I like people with a sense of humor. So I took on to Karan very, on the first or second day, that he was so sweet, cracking jokes and being fun and so simple. And I think finally one day he came, much later, and he narrated Kuch Kuch Hota Hai to me with Kajal in my apartment. And then Kajal started crying hearing the story. Karan started crying narrating the story. And I found them both very silly. That why are they crying? I don't get turned on by romance and emotional scenes, and I don't understand them. The only thing I found very funny in the film was that from beginning of my career, I never wanted to be in college. I was 26 when I joined films. So we are talking, I'm 30, 32 now. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to play a college kid. And he said, no, you'll play a college kid. I was averse to doing films in which the hero was in the college and meets the heroine in the college and then does a song and falls in love with her. I never wanted, that's why I did Bazigar, Dar and offbeat films, Deewana. But suddenly, like he said, no, it's a flashback. So I found it a little odd playing a college kid at the age of 30. But I did with a cool chain and Tum Nahi Samjhogi Anjali, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and all that stuff. So, and Rani was so outstandingly beautiful. I saw her on television in a trailer of Raja Ki Aayegi Barat, and I thought she had the most stunning face I'd seen. So we were looking for a girl who was called Tina in the film. I think Twinkle Khanna didn't do it. There were some other actresses Karan wanted them to do, they didn't. And then I just said, why don't you ask Rani to do it? And I think Manish Malhotra and Karan went changed her. And then again, by then, I'm very friendly with Kajal. I'd done Dilwale and Rani came in and it was great fun. We went to shoot again in Mauritius. Mauritius used to be a favorite place at that point of time for filmmakers. We shot there. Kajal fell off the cycle, lost her memory for about 5 hours. Or so she claims. So we quickly took away all her things. She had a lovely music system, so I said, let's steal all her stuff before her memory comes back. But it came back. And when he was directing, I remember his mom asked him the night before he left, "Beta, tujhe malum hai na camera kahan rakhna?" Hero auntie, I remember Karan coming in saying this to me. My mom asked me when I left, "Do you know where to put the camera?" And Karan came on the sets and he said, "No, I don't, but we'll still tell a story." And I think that was really sweet. That he didn't know where to put the camera. I didn't know how a film is made. Kajal, of course, doesn't get into the technical part. And we still made a film which I think is my children's favorite film, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Great songs. People started thinking I'm good looking. People thought I was cool. I dress up very well. And all that happened. I became a lover boy because of Dilwale and then Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Now, till date, everyone turns around and say, oh, you're the best romantic hero. And I think I have not done so many romantic films actually, except Dilwale, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and maybe Dil To Pagal Hai. But this whole branding of Shah Rukh Khan as a romantic hero, which Yashji used to always tell me, brother, action hero jo hai, long lasting nahi hote. Romantic hero, Rishi Kapoor ko dekh. He used to always tell me, he had this old wisdom around him. And he said, tu romantic picture karega na, Bazigar chhod ke, dekhna, 10 saal tak tu hero rahega. And which I guess is true.
यूं मुस्कुराए तुमने न जाने क्या सपने दिखाए, अब तो मेरा दिल जागे न सोता है, क्या करूं हाय, कुछ कुछ होता है, क्या करूं हाय,
कुछ कुछ होता